Okay, both of them were for stimulus. Both of them were for TARP. Both of them were for Obamacare. Is that what we're calling it nowadays? Chris Marola, Red Momentum Strategies. Chris, how you doing today?
Doing well, Alan. What's going on?
I'm talking to you. I like talking to you.
Oh, okay. Well, I wasn't sure,
Well, why wouldn't you be sure? I wouldn't have you on every day if I didn't like talking to you.
Well, I'm just having fun. I do notice you have a propensity to say before my segment comes on, I'm going to take it to Chris Marola the next segment. So I'm not quite sure what that all entails.
I don't remember saying that. Joey,
I heard it loud and clear.
Did I say that today?
Oh, we always.
Wow.
There's no secret. We like to hear Chris's opinion and then respectfully correct him.
And we've not been we have not been able to get the liberals on. They won't come on the show. I've reached out to the Georgia Democrats 3 times to try to get them to come on because I actually will have a whole lot easier time wrestling than. We agree 70% of the time, 80% of the time. It's just
you and I, you mean?
Yeah, we just wander off in different directions when it comes to how rapidly we should shrink the government and things like that. And then, I'm a libertarian, proudly so.
See, that's kind of the thing. If we agree 75-80% of the time, and you're willing to beat me up, imagine what the liberals think you do to them.
But you come back swinging, and you're good to engage in an intellectual conversation.
I understand. Listen, I'm all for hitting you back as long as you're willing to take it.
No, I'll take it. So
okay.
What'd you think of my bumper then? Now, it's hard for you to spin that he was not in favor of the TARP.
Oh, I don't deny that. It's just when you say that Romney's in favor of stimulus, I need to know more details as to what he means by a stimulus. Does he mean a tax cut? Because a tax cut stimulates the economy.
Well, sometimes I have to cut those up. He was talking about borrowing money and spending it. And Keynesian economics is what he was talking about. But our prior guest, Ralph Binko, who is wanting to get us back on the gold standard, said Romney has 2 advisors, one good one, one bad one. So let's hope the good one wins out.
Right, and that's kind of what I was saying all along, why I feel more comfortable getting behind Romney now, is he does have some conservatives who are advising him, and he is taking some more conservative positions. So that does encourage me. But rather than waste our time, since we've blown a couple of minutes here having some fun, I want to get to the topic at hand. There's a great article in the Washington Post editorial about clean energy and how it's wasted. The study that they put together showed that U.S. subsidies for so-called green energy increased from $17 billion to $37 billion over the last few years. And what we've got in return is, well, not much. It's really a abysmal failure. For instance, Obama's argued that the more we invest in green energy, we'll get less dependent on foreign oil. But the problem with that argument, this article shows, is that many of these technologies, like wind and solar and geothermal, are replacing technologies that are American-made, basically wiping out American jobs in the coal and natural gas industry. So we're not making our nation self-sufficient. We're not helping remove our nation from foreign oil. We're killing jobs here in America for coal and natural gas, and the energy isn't even working that well. The article went on to say that it would be better that, in this case, outsourcing to China would be a good thing. Let the Chinese develop the clean coal and the clean green energy technology. Let them invest all kinds of money in trying to make it work. And then once it's online in the free market, we can adapt to it. I think that's a pretty good idea. What about you?
Yeah, I think you're onto something, Chris, and I think that what you're saying, it really strikes to the core of subsidies across the board, not just U.S. energy subsidies, but when the government has a role in picking economic winners and losers, there are a lot of casualties, whether they're intended or unintended, that come as a result of the government stepping in and using its heavy hand to push its own agenda.
Right, and always, every single time when the government interferes in the private sector, it damages that sector of the economy. It always does, because it takes money, it takes opportunity out of the economy, and that causes that sector of that economy to shrivel up and die. And it's useless. I mean, when you compare how much energy we get from nuclear power plants and natural gas compared to wind power and biofuel and all of that, it's not even close. We have to use an enormous amount of land just to get a tiny bit of energy out of solar, where we can use an enormous amount of energy from a small piece of land for nuclear, for instance. It's unbelievable. A nuclear power plant produces 300 horsepower per acre. You look at the wind power plant, it only produces 6.4 horsepower per acre. I mean, that's just a terrible investment. A solar power plant will give you about 36 horsepower per acre, compared to 300 horsepower per acre with a nuclear power plant. I mean, we're wasting time, we're wasting money, we're wasting land that could either be sold on the retail market or sold to farmers to farm.
Well,
I have been doing some research. Solyndra has gotten all the attention, but it is a mind-boggling list of failed green ventures that Obama's Energy Department has invested in.
Absolutely.
Sometime in the next few days, we'll air that segment. Right now, I'm still in the process of vetting it, Well, I'm venting it too, but vetting it as well.
Well, I look forward to that, and a spirited debate as always with you, Alan.
Chris, it's a pleasure, guy.
All right, buddy. Take care.
You too. This is Alan Butler. When Jay